Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Even the internet has decided to disappear today, but hopefully you guys can hear me. It's going to be a bit iffy at the start, but 2-2 draw against Tottenham. Let me know if you can hear me. What do you guys make of the results? What are your thoughts on the performance and the 2-2 draw against Tottenham? Now, obviously, it's right away. It's disappointing because this is a game that we usually win. You're usually getting 3 points in this game. At the specific time right now, a draw is not the worst because they've been playing well, but the way you get the draw is also always a problem as well. And right off the bat, I'm worried about 4 things. Right away, I'm worried about 4 things at the moment. Let me just go straight into it before we even do the match reaction. Number 1, injuries. The injuries have started popping up, and that is a massive issue right away. Declan Rice looks like he's injured. He's never been injured at West Ham. Timber is injured. Partey is injured. Trossard is injured. Martinelli is injured. So right off the bat, it's not looking good in terms of injuries. And on top of that, Saka looked very tired today. So injuries are costing us a lot. Okay, not costing us, but like injuries right now, they're starting to pile up. Number 2, mistakes. Right away, let's talk about the mistakes. We are making too many mistakes every game. Like every single game we are watching, we are making 2 or 3 mistakes, and it's costing us every single game. Like against Fulham, mistakes. Against Man United, mistake. Today, mistake that costs us every single game. Number 3, the way we threw away the lead today. When you go 2-1 ahead, we'll talk about Jorginho later. But when you go 2-1 ahead in a game like this, you don't give away the ball 30 seconds later. You can't do that. You just can't do that. So going ahead twice and letting them back into the game twice as well, not great. And number 4, Man City are now 4 points ahead. And we are going to play them like in 4 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. If you don't win that game, it's already 6-7 points, and it's already going away. So there's a lot to be worried about in terms of injuries and making mistakes every single game and all that. But let me know what you guys make of the game. Let's get to the match reaction. Draw with Tottenham, they will be buzzing with that because this is a game they always lose. I mean, it didn't lose, but obviously the circumstances, like being 2-1 ahead and all that, we needed to win this game. Go ahead of them, going to like that place. And also on top of that, Liverpool are looking good as well. So not happy that the injuries are really concerning me though. Now when Rice, Partey are all injured at the same time, and Trossard and Martinelli are all injured at the same time, it's not looking good. Bedell says Arsenal and injuries. Koki says convinced Jorginho is still a Chelsea player. Says Koki. We'll talk about him. I do think that is the first mistake he's made in an Arsenal shirt. I was still very happy with him staying at Arsenal and him coming on and all that. But today you can't do that. Today was a calamity. There's even another time like he gave away a ball or he fouled Maddison and stuff. Today was a calamity performance, man. Absolutely calamity. Let's see. Amy Blood says, I don't understand up to now what Jorginho was doing with the ball by himself. I literally do not understand. Saliba, was it Saliba or Gabriel? They were right there, like past the ball. You don't go dribbling in the middle of Maddison and Son in that position. If you lose the ball, that is exactly what is going to happen. There's nothing else that can happen. That is exactly what is going to happen. Let's see. Louis says this game, I blame Mateta. Why change the squad? What do you mean? Like at halftime, if it's halftime, I think Rice was injured. If it's the first half, I mean, Trossard and Martinelli are injured, so he can't really do anything about that. Kelvin, Trossard is injured. That is why I said we have a problem with injuries now. Trossard is injured. Rice looks like he's injured. Martinelli is injured. Partey is injured. Timber is injured. And the games are coming, man. We have Brentford on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, Bournemouth next week. Right after that, another Champions League game. And then I think you're going to face Chelsea or is it Man City? I think you're actually going to play Man City before the international break. So, yeah. But let's go to the match reaction. 2-2 draw against Tottenham. That leaves us in 5th position. I'm starting to be worried about Man City because Man City next week again they have Wolves that they'll win. That will be 7 points ahead if we don't win next week. So let's go through the lineup. This was the lineup. And Arsenal, you know the weird thing with Arsenal, the likes of Partey and Trossard, you know, these guys have never actually been injured in a game. Like someone like Partey, like I've never even ever seen Partey getting injured in a game, but we always hear he gets injured in training and then he misses games. Trossard as well. This is like the 3rd time like he's missing a game. He didn't even really get injured in a game. Like after the game, he gets injured. So this was our lineup. Raya started once again. Looks like now he's now number 1 goalkeeper. Back 4, no problem with the back 4. Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. And then midfield, I was happy with this midfield as well. I'm sure most of you are as well. Rice, Odegaard, and Vieira. And then up front, that's where maybe things could have been different. But Trossard is injured, so you can't really do anything about that. Martinelli is injured as well. So it's either you play Jesus up front, Saka on the right, and start with Nelson on the left, left, or you go exactly like that and play Jesus and Nketiah, or you start Havertz up front and play Jesus on the left. That is the only way we could have gone. And then on the bench, Ramsdale, Kivia, Tomiyasu, Cedric, Eldani, Jorginho, Havertz, Smith Rowe, and Nelson. Now, I'm not going to fake and say, okay, why is this one starting or not, or this or this or that? No. I actually tweeted before the game. Right now, as an Arsenal fan, the position where we are, I really don't usually mind who is starting, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Nketiah, whether it's Trossard, whether it's Martinelli, whether it's Tomiyasu, whether it's White as well, whether it's Saliba, whoever, because I feel like all of them can perform in the game. But like going into a North London derby, it is not ideal. Like having Trossard injured in the same week as Martinelli, because that's basically you've taken away the starter and the backup on that left side, and all of a sudden you have to change things. You have to play Jesus on the left. Now, did Jesus perform well? He got a couple of chances, like the first half chance. I think he took it well. Someone else would not take it like that, but you have to score that second one. After he pressed so well, you have to put it on target. He got too excited and he put it off target. That becomes 2-0. If you score that, it becomes 2-0, and Tottenham cannot come back from that. So again, he missed a couple of chances as well. Get a bit disappointing today, but in terms of the game, when I saw the lineup, I still said we are definitely going to concede goals. I was going for Arsenal 3, Tottenham 2. I thought you're going to get a 3-2 win. Ended up being 2-2, but mistakes. Actually, Tottenham had the ball in the back of our net within the first 2 minutes. It was disallowed. It was clearly offside, and then Jesus had a chance in the 13th minute. He missed it, but you could tell it was going to be a feisty affair. Odegaard picked up a yellow card for I think arguing with the referee. They were putting in challenges. It was looking like Saka had the better of Udogie. It was all over the place, so it was looking like Saka would definitely help us today a lot. They were putting in the challenges. It was going to be a feisty affair. And these days, when it comes to feisty affairs, it's not like the Arsenal that we had back in the day. These days, with the likes of Rice and Gabriel, I think we have men in the team, not boys like we had back in the day. So I expect us to be up to the challenge. But unfortunately, I don't think everyone turned up in terms of knowing how this game is, and I would expect them to turn up more than the Tottenham players, because most of the Tottenham players are very new to this fixture. And then Saka's brilliance, as always, when Saka has the ball, you feel like something is going to happen. When I don't know what you're going to do without this kid, man. Like, he has to be there. Like, even today, like, he looked very tired, and I was like, should we like rest him for 2-3 games? But like today, like that first half, if you're going to score a goal, it was going to come from Saka. Like, he was the only one doing anything. So if he doesn't play, all of a sudden you're in big trouble. So Saka, brilliant work. He shot it and deflected off Romero. This is what you always tell all the other players. If you get a chance to shoot the ball, shoot it, because you never know what is going to happen. It can deflect in and become 1-0, become 2-0, whichever. You just have to shoot the ball. And Saka, luckily, he's not been at the best of his game this season, but I think that is already 4 goals and like 2 assists or something. So Saka, yes, he might not be performing as good as he did last time, but he's still getting the goals, is still getting that assist. So absolutely no problem with Saka getting that goal. 1-0, absolutely brilliant. Saliba also looked good in the first half. Odegaard had a shot that was saved. Raya made a couple of very good saves. I think one was from Brennan Johnson and the other one was it Son? 2 very good saves. But the rebound, when they went back and came the second time, they scored. Maddison on the left side, we have to say it the way it is. Saka is not a defender, I know that. But the way Maddison went past Saka on that left side, that is too easy. You cannot let him pass you that easily. It's either you foul him, give them a free kick, or tackle or try put it out for a corner. I know Saka is not a defender, but Maddison passed him too easily for that first goal. And then also the defenders, it's 2 against 1. There needs to be better communication. And Son, we know we didn't want to let him do this at the Emirates because he was the one who was talking a lot. But he got the chance, and we know when Son gets that chance, he's going to score. 1-1 at halftime. It's not the end of the world. Like, we've seen this score a lot of times. Last time, a couple of weeks ago, it was 1-1 against Man United at halftime. You still have the chance to come back in the second half and win it. Last season against Tottenham, it was 1-1 at halftime. So you've seen this score a lot of times. So I'm never really worried when it's 1-1. The only worry was if they get the second goal, then it becomes a problem, because if you try and attack and they get a counter-attack, they're going to score. With Maddison and Johnson and Son, all those guys, all the sons that they have in their team, they're probably going to score if they get a chance. Havertz and Vieira. Havertz came on for Vieira, and Jorginho came on for Rice. I think that both of these could be injuries, because Vieira was fouled like 3 or 4 times in that first half. He was like treated a couple of times, and I don't know about Rice. I hope he's not injured, because if Partey and Rice are injured at the same time, we're in deep troubles with all the games that are coming up. I'm really hoping it's not. It can't be tactical, surely not. I don't think Atsa would remove Rice at halftime tactical, because in the first half, yes, he lost the ball a couple of times, but you're still winning challenges against Bissouma, winning challenges against Maddison, so you can't really remove Rice. So the only explanation is an injury, and if Rice is injured, you don't want that, because the one thing we've been talking about, you're going to play Man City in 2 weeks' time. The one thing we've been saying, wow, Rice is there now. Rodri is not going to play for Man City. Now, if you don't have Rice and Partey, then it's basically the same. It's basically they have a better midfield than us if you don't have Rice and Partey in the midfield. But second half, I was not too mad about Vieira going off, but Rice, obviously, that is a worry. Now, the thing is, I've always said since January, when the whole of last season, Jorginho's played well ever since it's come on, every time it's come on. And this season as well, the games that Jorginho's come on, like against Crystal Palace, he's been able to control it. I was a bit worried about him in this one because of the pace of Maddison and Son in the midfield, but I still didn't think he was going to make a mistake. But we are going to come to that. 52nd minute, Romero, the World Cup winner, decided to show us his goalkeeping skills. That was definitely a penalty. Like, if they didn't give us that as a penalty, I was going to be very, very mad. And Saka, with Jorginho on the pitch, I thought Saka would be like, you know what, I'm tired. Jorginho, take this penalty. You always score or give Odegaard or something. But Saka stepped up once again, and what a finish. Once again, he went to the middle today. I think this is the first time he's put a penalty to the middle. Usually goes to the left or to the right side. So first time he's put the penalty to the middle, and composure, man. Like, this guy is just incredible. Whichever the fixture, whichever the occasion, whatever the minute, Saka is always going to step up for us. So absolutely brilliant to make it 2-1. And from that point on, I was very excited. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Get a second goal. Tottenham will try to push for another. Bring on Nelson. We have Nelson on one side. You have Saka on the other side. You have Jesus. You're going to try and get to that goal like we did against Man United a couple of weeks ago when Tottenham are pushing for the goal. And then 1 minute later, oh my God, another mistake. And the worry is, it's not like, back in the day, it was Luiz making 4 or 5 mistakes. It was Scolacci making 3 or 4 mistakes. It was Bellerin making 2 or 3 mistakes. Back in the day, it was Xhaka making 2 or 3 mistakes. These days, like this season and the end of last season, it's different players. Today Ramsdale is making a mistake. Tomorrow it's Zinchenko. Saka gave away the ball against Fulham. Havertz gave away the ball against Man United. Today's Jorginho. Tomorrow someone else makes a mistake. Like, that is a massive worry. And especially at the Emirates, like, should we just play every single game away? Because away from home, we are usually perfect. We never make any mistakes. We keep clean sheets. But at home, every single player is making mistakes. Everyone is giving away the ball. And Jorginho, that is a calamity. That is suicide. You cannot give away the ball in that situation. They are going to score. If you give Maddison and Son the ball there, they are going to score. And that's exactly what you don't want. Because I saw Arsenal fans saying, oh, here comes the Chelsea players, Havertz and Jorginho, we are done for. You can't come and make that mistake in a North London derby, especially after we've worked so hard to get that second goal, and you have the advantage. Tottenham will now try to look for a second goal, and you can catch them on the counter-attack and get a third. You give them a goal like that, like 1 minute after scoring yours, that is suicidal, Jorginho. And all of a sudden, it becomes a problem, because now, another reason why I don't like going into players is because now he's going to play. Like, if Rice and Partey are injured, he's going to play. The problem is, if his confidence is short, we are in trouble. Like, if you have someone playing in that number 6 area, now he's scared of maybe taking a touch or two because he made a mistake in the last game, then it becomes a problem. So I'm really hoping Rice is back very soon. I hope it's not a serious injury. We might have to go back to El Neni, Oh, God, who thought? Who thought you'd be turning back to El Neni this early into the season? Like, it's going to be crazy. But Jorginho will probably start the next game. But you cannot make that mistake. They're definitely going to score from it. So that was calamitous, man. That mistake from Jorginho is worse. For me, it's worse than the one that Havertz gave against Man United, because that is like in our own final third. Even it's worse than the one that Saka gave away against Fulham. Maybe it's in the same level as the one that Ramsdale gave away against Southampton last season. And what's the common thing about all of those? It's home games. Like, I don't know why. Like, every single home game, you're giving away a goal or two. So absolutely terrible to give them a 2-2, give them a goal. But after that, you still have 35 minutes. You can still get a goal. We did that against Man United last season. We scored a second goal. They got a 2-2. And then after that, you were able to get a third goal. But after that, really, we went very quiet. I didn't see Odegaard a lot. Saka was looking incredibly tired. Nketiah was disappeared from the game. Jorginho, I think after making that mistake, yes, he had a couple of good passes here and there, but you could tell he didn't want to get on the ball too much. In fact, I was seeing the likes of Ben White and Gabriel making more passes than what we had in midfield. Jesus was trying, but final end product not good enough. And then we ended up bringing Reece Nelson for Jesus. Now, my sub would have been Reece Nelson from Nketiah, because Nketiah was very quiet in that game. Actually, at halftime, I was saying I would take off Nketiah and bring on either Smith Rowe or someone else. Like, just take off Nketiah. He was not doing whatever we needed him to do. Sometimes, yes, he presses the goalkeeper very much and all that, but today, not a lot. So I wanted him to go off. And then obviously on top of that, Jesus missed a couple of chances. I think both of them in the first half. You have to put them on. You have to put the second one on target. The first one, good touch, good or good strike. The ball is in the air and he struck it well. But the second one, Jesus, you have to put it on target, man. Like, you can't put it off target. And basically, the next 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes of the game, I don't think we were good enough. I don't think we were ever going to score. Even when they added 10 minutes, usually these days of the Emirates, when they give us 5-10 minutes of additional time, we usually expect to score. We usually give them a hard time. Like, we keep on going and going and going and going. Today never really looked so. And we had so many corners. We didn't take advantage of them, although we got a penalty from one of our corners. But in the last 20 minutes, it looked like even most of our players were like, you know what, okay, we'll take the draw. So at the end of the day, it's a calamity. I don't think we deserve to win. I also don't think we deserve to lose as well. But when you go 2-1 ahead like that early in the second half, you have to take control of the game. And what you don't need is Jorginho making that mistake when there's two passes available. Like Saliba or Gabriel, one of them was on the left side by themselves. Like, you can pass the ball to them directly, or Raya was back there by himself. Like, it's not like he was being pressed and he was forced to a mistake. He literally went to that mistake. You know, like in a zoo, like, you can see where the lion is, and he went straight there. He jumped the fence and he went straight where the lion is. It wasn't the lion jumping over the fence. It was Jorginho going to where the lion was today. So you cannot go straight into their press. Like, that was a calamity. So 2-2 draw. As I said in the beginning, let me repeat the 4 things I'm worried about at the moment. Injuries. 5-6 injuries at the moment, very key players. And on top of that, Saka is looking very tired. Number 2, we are making way too many mistakes at home. Every single game, a different player is making a mistake. We need to cut that out of our game. And it's even carried over from preseason. Even in preseason, he gave away like 2 or 3. I remember Gabriel making a mistake against Man United at I think it was New Jersey or something. In that game against Man United, we made a mistake. So these mistakes are becoming too many. Number 3, we lost a lead today, so that is not great. I usually don't like when you lose leads. I love it when you come back from behind, but losing leads, I don't like it. And number 4, Man City's 4 points ahead of us, and Liverpool are looking very good. So all of a sudden, 2 weeks' time, we have to beat Man City, because if Man City come again to the Emirates and beat us, it's over. There'll be like 7 points ahead, and it's going to be over already. So the dream that we were hoping for, the dreamstone that we were hoping for, it's going to be gone by October. So all of a sudden, we have to go into that Man City game winning. We can't draw that game. So it becomes a bit harder. Yes, we're still undefeated. It's not the end of the world. Maybe it would have been better if we had beaten Fulham and drawn this game. It would have been okay. That is fine. But at home, it's not looking good. I'm at a point where I want us to play away from home. And hopefully Trossard and Rice are back very soon, because this thing of Jesus on the left and all that, I'm really not keen about that as well. And hopefully the likes of Partey are back very soon. So that is it for the game. The last 30 minutes, basically, we didn't really do much. It never looked like we were going to score. So I think the draw was pretty much fair enough. And I was very surprised that Son and Maddison went off for Tottenham. Like, I don't know why he took them off, because I was like, this does not look good. Because if Son gets one more chance, it's going to be a hat-trick at the Emirates. And where would we go, man? Like, where would we lock ourselves if Son got a hat-trick at the Emirates? So I was very glad to see them going off. So 2-2 draw against Tottenham. Let me see what you guys are saying about that game. I'm really worried about the mistakes we're making every single game. And it's not one player, it's many different players. I really hope the injuries are not too serious. Douglas says, I'm totally disappointed with our performance today. Errors always and poor performance. Yes, the errors are too many. And yes, in terms of creating chances, we still created like 5 or 6 good chances. Jesus had, the first one he took well. I don't think it's a clear-cut chance, but he took it well. So that was that chance. There was that second one where he took the ball off Maddison. There was which other one? I think second half. can I remember the player? There's another chance we had in the second half that we missed as well. I mean, not too many clear-cut chances. If anything, I think they had the same amount of good chances as us. But yeah, you have to say, like, maybe if you're 2-1 ahead, that game would have been different if Jorginho didn't make that mistake. So gutted about that. Jorginho cost us 3 points. Yes, that one I have to agree with. Ike says, how are you doing? I'm not happy with the results. Yeah, definitely not happy because this is a team that we always beat, especially at home. Cookie says, I think Mikel Sport today absolutely adored the block, but you have to call him out on its bad. Jesus should have stayed on. That one I definitely agree with. I would have taken off Nketiah a long time ago. Jesus was the one who was, I mean, he was missing chances. I know that, but he was basically trying. And you're right as well. Emil showed quality when he came on. For only 4 minutes, he was on and he still showed a lot of quality. My sub at halftime would have been Nketiah off, and I wanted either Smith or Nelson on, and then if you wanted to bring on Havertz and someone else later, that is fine. But I was surprised, like Havertz and Jorginho at once. Maybe it's because of injuries. But right away, positivity goes out of the door because, a lot of fans don't like Havertz and they don't like Jorginho. So the pressure becomes even more. Hopefully Rice isn't serious because Jorginho and Elneny will make me cry. So it's okay. We have a Carabao Cup game on Wednesday. We'll see them. Let's see what they give in that game. If you go and play Brentford and you end up losing 2 or 3 goals and these guys perform poorly, then you don't want to see them in the Premier League. I mean, I think we are kind of lucky that our next 3 games are Bournemouth. Bournemouth are a very good team, but you rather play Brentford than playing Man City away. So we're going to have Bournemouth, Brentford, and Lens in the Champions League. So you're kind of lucky that those are our next 3 games. You can still get through them, but like, when are we ever going to rest someone like Saka? Like, now with all the injuries, it means Saka has to play even more. By the way, shout out to Saka. I think he's played 86 games in a row. That is a record. Like, there's no Arsenal player who's ever played more games in a row. It's crazy. And he looked very tired today. So that is another worry. Lubai says that disappointed me in his substitution of taking Rice and bring in Kai Havertz and Jorginho instead of Trossard. Trossard is injured, Lubai. Trossard is out with an injury. He was not available today. But the first point, if Rice is injured, there's nothing we can do. We have to bring on Jorginho and take off Rice. The other thing you can do is to play Ben White in midfield and bring on Tomiyasu, but I don't think he's going to experiment it. So, I mean, if Rice is injured, you have to bring on Jorginho. You don't have any option. But the option that you have is to take off Nketiah early, or to take off Nketiah instead of taking off Jesus, or not to bring on Havertz and bring on Smith Rowe. Those are options. But the one for Rice and Jorginho, we don't have any choice. If Rice is injured, Jorginho is the only one available, unless you want Elneny to come on. Brighton says we are doomed. I don't think we are doomed, but injury-wise, yes. Injury-wise and mistakes, yes. If you keep on doing that every single game, you're probably doomed. Nketiah was very poor. Why replace Jesus instead of him? That one I agree with. He wasn't even poor. Like, he was way too quiet for me. Even Odegaard in the second half, I think he was a bit quiet. Whenever Odegaard doesn't get on the ball, or you don't have Martinelli or Trossard, then it becomes a problem. That is why I said I'm okay with Tomiyasu starting instead of Ben White. I was okay with Tierney starting instead of Zinchenko. I'm okay with Vieira starting, okay with Smith Rowe starting. But when Saka and Odegaard are both not on the pitch, or you don't have both those left wingers on the pitch, it starts becoming a problem. And now this is where we need Smith Rowe again. Like, I really want Smith Rowe to start against Brentford, because we need him back. We need him back to the 2021, 2022 Smith Rowe. Like, if he can get that Smith Rowe back fully fit like he was 2 seasons ago, he can really help us, because again, we cannot just start depending on Fabio Vieira. He's been playing well, but you can't depend on him every single game. At the moment, we know Havertz's confidence is very short. You can tell. Even the shots he's taking, his confidence is totally gone. I don't know how you're going to get it back. And as well as who else? Jesus is not a left winger. He can play there, yes, but not in a game against Tottenham like this. Frederick says, our standard of flame, I'm sure we shall never win UFA in our life, says Frederick. Ndaba says, Nketiah, don't know why what he was doing, and I'm waiting to see how much you're going to give him, says Ndaba. Speaking of that, let me go to the player ratings. I'll come to the rest of your comments, but let's do the player ratings for Arsenal 2, Tottenham 2. So, player ratings, Arsenal 2, Tottenham 2. What are we going to give our players for today's performance? So I've watched the game once. I've not looked at any stats. I've not done anything. This is straight away from what I watched. This is how I'm going to rank and rate the players. David Raya looks like he's our first choice goalkeeper. First half, that save from Brennan Johnson was a very good save. Very, very good save from Raya. Even the second one from Son. For the first goal, I don't think you'd have done anything. Second goal, I don't know, maybe. But now I don't like seeing stuff like, okay, Ramsdale would have saved that. That is the thing I don't want. I don't want that divide in the team. Like Raya would have saved that, or Ramsdale would have saved that. He saved a couple, but the first half, actually, surprisingly, Raya had a couple of opportunities to kick the ball, and he kicked them out of off the field, out of the pitch, a couple of times. So he considered 2 goals as well. I don't think he'd have done much, but good save in the first half. A couple of good chances where he came and collected the ball easily. So I'm going to give David Raya so tough, man. In a game like this, I'm going to give David Raya 6 out of 10 for today. I think he made a couple of good saves, but I think for the other 2 games, it's been better than today. Zinchenko, I mean, I had a lot of Tottenham fans saying we are going to target Zinchenko. Kulusevski is going to rip him apart. Solomon is going to rip him apart. Johnson is going to rip him apart. I don't think Zinchenko was ripped apart defensively today, which is a good thing. Attacking wise, we didn't see Zinchenko as much as you usually see him attacking wise. Like we usually see Zinchenko doing a lot of passes. Today, not quite a lot. A couple of good tackles and all that, but again, we considered 2 goals. Did we concede from his side? I don't think he considered from his side. The first goal, left side. Second goal, from the middle, pretty much. So Zinchenko as well. I don't think he had a bad game, so I'm going to give him same as Ray. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Now, this is very low for these players. I usually give this guy 7s, 8s, 9s. So this is very low for players like this, but I don't think he had a calamitous performance. I'm going to give him a 6. Ben White on the other side. Now, both goals came from his side, but the first one, it was Saka being beaten. The second one was not from his side. It was from Jorginho in midfield. He can't do anything about that. But in the second half, in terms of attacking, it was actually looking like Ben White was our best opportunity to actually get a goal. I think he was going forward well. A couple of misplaced passes, I think, from Saka and Odegaard. White would have done good. I think he did put in a couple of good crosses. I don't think Ben White was a calamity as well. I think he was okay today. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10, just like Zinchenko. I am going to rewatch the game, and if I make any mistakes in the player ratings, I'm going to correct it, like in the next stream and stuff. William Saliba, again, I don't think he was Saliba was bad as well. A couple of times he put in 2-3 tackles. He always looks comfortable on the ball and all that. So again, we considered 2 goals, but this is the kind of games where you concede 2 goals, but I don't think any of the defenders made any mistakes for us to concede the 2 goals. So I am going to give Saliba 6 as well, despite conceding 2 goals, not 5. God, no. If you consider 5 goals, I might not be on this stream right now. Gabriel as well, I think he was okay. Unless, correct me if I'm wrong, do you think the defenders were terrible today? Personally, I don't think so. So I actually going to give all of them a 6. Raya 6, Gabriel 6, Saliba 6, Zinchenko 6, White 6. So this is very low still for them, because I usually give them like 8s and 9s, but I don't think any of them really made bad mistakes. I don't think so. I mean, maybe first half, maybe that goal from Son, maybe better communication, but that was pretty much it. I think in terms of passing and all that, they didn't really make a lot of mistakes. So I'm going to give all of them a 6. Now, Declan Rice wasn't on for too long. He was only on for 45 minutes. And for that 45 minutes, I think he lost the ball a couple of times. I think he put in a couple of tackles, good tackles a couple of times. But for those 45 minutes, I think it was just average. So I'm going to give Rice a 5 out of 10. Yeah, this is the lowest you're ever going to see him getting on this channel, probably. I hope so, because if it goes lower than the 5, it probably means that you've got that game. So I'm going to give Rice a 5 out of 10. Martin Odegaard, I love him. I told you he's my best Arsenal player. But they had a shot in the first half. A couple of times he spread the ball nicely to Saka and to Jesus on the left side. But he was very quiet in the second half. Am I wrong to say that? I think Odegaard was very quiet in the second half. Like, and whenever Odegaard and Saka go quiet, then we're in a bit of trouble. Like, whenever you see us not creating chances and all that, he was very quiet. Today, apart from the first half, maybe he was lively, maybe in the first half. But I'm going to give him a 6. But this is a lucky 6 for him, which is a 6 going down to 5.5, not a 6 going down to 6.5. Actually, he might even get a 5. Let me see how I'm feeling as I do the others. Let me know what you'd give Odegaard. I want to know what you guys would give the defenders, and also also Odegaard. Those are the main ones. I really want to see what you'd give them. The other midfielder who started, Vieira, again, he was only on for 45 minutes as well. I think it was almost the same as Rice a couple of good runs in the midfield, but was only on for 45 minutes. So I'm going to give Vieira 5 as well. And then comes the forward players. Jesus, first chance, it took it well. It was saved well. Second chance, you have to put that on target. I'm actually doing him justice, not saying scoring. You're supposed to score that. But at least you have to put it on target. You cannot put it off target. I mean, for him to play on the left side, I think he did okay for someone playing on the left side, but we needed more from him. So I'm just going to give him just above average because he looked lively and got a couple of good chances. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10, not the best. Next up is Bukayo Saka. Yeah, by far our best player, I think. By far our best player. He took the penalty well. And the first half, I think he ripped apart to Dog. He was fouling him. I think he did well. So Bukayo Saka, I think this is easily man of the match. So this, I don't think I have to put a poll on this one. I'm going to give Bukayo Saka an 8 out of 10. For second half, you could see he was way too tired. Like, I don't know when you're going to give him a rest. Hopefully, he doesn't play on Wednesday. That is when I will need the likes of Nelson and Fabio to come on. But Saka, I think he was good, scored a penalty, and the first goal came from him as well. If it's not for Saka, we don't get a goal today. Also, the Jesus chance in the first half, is Saka who put in the cross and Jesus shot the ball and the keeper made a very good save. So it is from Saka as well. So I think that Saka first half performance was really good. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Again, another reason I gave Jesus a 6 out of 10 because the pressing was really good. We were putting them under a lot of pressure. So Saka 8 out of 10. Next up is Edin Ketia. Not good. And today, not good at all. Did he get a chance today? I mean, he didn't get a chance to score today. That is, I don't know if you can blame him for that, but we need way more. Like when Jesus was pressing and Saka was pressing, I didn't see Nketiah. And pretty much the second half, I did not see him at all. At all. So that is a very disappearing performance, as people like to call it. So I didn't see. I didn't want him to start today. I wanted Smith Rowe or someone else. He ended up starting because Trossard is injured, Martinelli is injured. You can't do anything about that. But again, the thing with this team right now, you have to take your opportunities. If players are out injured, you have to take opportunities. And if they're taking the opportunities, we'd not have been crying about Trossard and Martinelli right now. But since we are crying about Trossard and Martinelli and all those guys, it means people didn't take their chances in terms of performance. So I gave Vieira and Rice a 5 out of 10. But Nketiah was on for 90 minutes, wasn't he? He even picked up a silly yellow card on top of that as well. I just remembered. Yeah, today Nketiah, we have to be real, not happy at all today. And I'm going to give you a 4 out of 10. I think today was very disappointing. Second half, he disappeared. So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 for today. Players coming off the bench. This is going to be so hard, man. Jorginho, now let me say this. After he made the mistake, he also made another one that almost cost another goal. But apart from that, there's a couple of times he did give a couple of good passes. But in this situation, I choose to ignore that because after we scored to make it 2-1, you cannot give a mistake right away. And as I said, it's not a mistake where you are being pressed and you're like, oh my goodness, where is the help? There's 3 players around him. He's lost the ball. It's not his fault, all that. Or it's a pass where you're passing the ball and it ended up in a different player's foot or anything like that. No. He literally had like 1 hour to choose to pass the ball. Like there was Raya behind him, there was Gabriel, there was Saliba, so many opportunities to pass the ball. He actually looked, it's not like he didn't look, like he didn't know there was a person to pass the ball. I saw him, I looked at that replay 4 times. Jorginho had the ball and he looked and he saw Gabriel and Saliba there and he was like, nah, I'm not going to pass there. I'm going to go straight to Maddison and Son. You're taking yourself to the lions, man. You're taking, like, that is a terrible mistake. As I've said, I think that is the worst mistake we made this season, like worse than the Havertz one, worse than the Sack one, like all of them. Like it's worse. So in terms of performances, that was a calamity, Jorginho. That was a calamity. And that is the least player rating you're going to get in the national shirt. Hopefully, that was terrible. Jorginho, today, I'm going to give you a 2 out of 10. Yes. Jorginho gets a 2 out of 10 for today. That was a calamity. Made another one. So Jorginho gets a 2 out of 10 for today. That was a terrible, terrible performance. And I usually try to give players a benefit of the doubt, even after a bad performance like Ramsey last season against Southampton. I usually go to 3 or 4s because I try to look at other good things that you did. But today, that's not good, Jorginho. That's not a good performance. 2 out of 10. Havertz came on at halftime as well. I think they're talking about 007 or something like that. I mean, I don't really count the Everton game because he was only on for 5 minutes, but they'll be very happy that Havertz hasn't scored for 7 games. There was a chance he had, like in the as well. Like again, I don't think he was good. Yes, now I try to look at the positives and the negatives. There's a couple of times Tottenham got a free kick and they put it into the box and Havertz cleared it twice. So that is good. That is good. But there's a couple of times he had a chance to cross the ball on the left side. I think he was just body checked just like a little bit and he fell down. Another cross that went straight to a Tottenham player, and the shot that he had outside the box, that is a left foot, man. You have to put it on target or not that far away. So again, Havertz today, not good, man. And I'm wide. You know why I'm wide? I'm not like some of you saying, okay, get him out of the team, sell him or anything like that. My worry is confidence. The moment he keeps on doing that, the confidence just goes low and low. And he's going to have to play because we are picking up injuries. Like if one more injury to Vieira or Odegaard, then boom, he's having to start every single game unless you start the likes of El Neni. So I'm worried about his confidence going even low. I think I had something like he's not scored like since March or something. That is a long time. Like I don't know how you're going to get his confidence back. Like in terms of that's a long time not to score. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I think he's slightly better than Jorginho. So 4 out of 10, very below average today. Who else came on? Was there anyone else who came on? Smith Rowe, he was only on for 4 minutes, but I'm actually going to give Smith Rowe a 6 out of 10, and he was only on for 4 minutes. He actually looked like he was going to do something decent. So I'm going to give Smith Rowe a 6 out of 10. Is there anyone else I'm missing? Nelson. I think Nelson looked a bit good. Maybe a couple of poor decisions, but you could see like if you give him the ball, he can try and make something happen. So I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. I don't think I've missed anyone. If I've missed anyone, it shows you maybe they didn't do anything at all. Ramsdale did not play today. He was not happy at all. You could tell again. I think he's going to start on Wednesday again. Hopefully his confidence has not fallen short. Mikel Arteta. Last against Man United, I think I gave him 8 or something. Against Everton, I think I gave him 7. Against PSV, that was a very good performance. I think I gave him 9. Today I'm not going to give you a 9. Now, we didn't lose the game, yes, but it's a game that you usually expect to win at home to Tottenham. It wasn't his fault that Jorginho made a mistake, and it's not his fault that Jorginho came on if Rice is in, unless it was a tactical decision. I'm waiting to hear that later. If he actually removed Rice because it was tactical, that is crazy. But I've heard rumors that Rice had an injury, so you can't really do anything about that. Rice has to go off. Jorginho has to come on. We don't have anyone else there unless you bring on El Neni. So that is not his fault. I don't agree with Nketiah staying on for 90 minutes. I actually was screaming for him to be subbed off at halftime because I don't think he was good at all in the first half as well. I don't agree Jesus going off instead of Nketiah. I also don't agree with that one as well. Starting lineup, I don't mind Jesus and Nketiah starting. I mean, as I said, I don't mind Nketiah starting. I mean, the games he started and come on this, and this is a couple of games has helped us win this season. But in terms of overall, the mistakes, again, too many. But in terms of subs and Nketiah playing 90 minutes, I was not too happy with that. So today it was average, very average for Mikel. I think this is the lowest I've given him this. And so 5 out of 10. We still don't seem like we have problems in terms of scoring. We usually score 2+ goals at home. That is no problem. But today, in terms of creating chances and all that, I don't think we created too many. And subs. I don't think Nketiah should have played 90 minutes, so that takes away like 2 points from your mark. And also Jesus going off instead of Nketiah, not great. And some would argue Smith Rowe needed to come on early, so that is average. If we had lost the game, it would have been like 3 or 4. But since we picked up a point, it's going to be a 5 out of 10. So man of the match, it's easy. It's going to be Saka man of the match. But let me see what you guys are saying about the rest of the performance. Cookie says the quality of that bench decreasing is very sad. It's true. 4 weeks ago, we looked at our bench: Nelson, Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, Tomiyasu, Kivior, Patio starting, but sometimes on the bench. Rice could be on the bench. I mean, you're looking at our bench and you're like, yeah, Trossard was on the bench as well. You're like, yeah, this is a good bench. But now, if you look at this lineup now, Now, if Rice is injured and Trossard is injured as well, all of a sudden, if you look at that bench, oh, it's Cedric, it's El Neni, and then it's defenders as well. Kiwi and Tomiyasu, it's Jorginho as well. It's Jorginho who's short on confidence after today. It's a Harvard's player who's very short on confidence as well. It's a Smith Rowe player who, you're not sure how fit he is. Will he come on and get another injury? Nelson. Yeah, you're very right in terms of that, Cookie. The bench quality is definitely decreasing. Against Brentford, I was thinking we are going to play, the likes of maybe Harvard starts, Vieira starts, Smith Rowe starts, and then maybe on the bench you have Saka, Odegaard, and all those players. But now it's looking like you're going to have to play Cedric and El Neni and all those guys. So God be with us. Let's see how we do with those players back on the pitch. Jorginho is too slow, should be sold in January, says Cities. Cookie says Nelson 6, good-ish, but yes, too much. Smith Rowe, very good. I was waiting for the Helen boy to work his magic. I mean, he didn't get too much time. Michaela just said Rice will have possible injury assessed. That is just terrible. And he's like, what the hell, man? Like, Timber never got injured at Ajax, and then he comes to Arsenal injured. He also Rice, he never got an injury, not even a single injury, not one. He never missed a game because of an injury at West Ham. Rice. If he's out and Partey's out, then we're going to be in a bit of trouble. We're going to have to depend on Jorginho and El Neni. So that becomes a problem. Saliba is my man of the match, says Phil. Saka 8, good penalty and ball in for Romero to finish off for us. I think Romero could be our man of the match as well. Like, I had those jokes ready. Like, if you had won that game, I had those jokes ready. Ivan Toney is far better. Break bank to get Osimhen in January. We're not going to get Osimhen because it's going to be too much money. Ivan Toney is very possible. I would definitely 100% take him. I mean, I would also take Osimhen, but I mean, they're going to say 150 million. So, Yusuf says, honestly, we need a good striker like Ivan Toney. Saka is really tired, says John. We should rest this kid and play Smith Rowe. Yes, the thing with the game today, you can't rest Saka. Now, against Brentford in midweek in the Carabao Cup, you can definitely rest Saka. If we play Saka again, then that becomes, again, another worry. That means we cannot play a game without Saka. He plays way too much. For England, he plays every single game. He plays every single game for Arsenal. There's a reason why he's broken the record, because he's playing way too many times. Arsenal need a proper number 9. I can't understand Katie and Jesus, says John. I'm so angry. Arteta didn't do it today. You should take responsibility. Lenny says, I've had a chance to put the game to bed. Then boom, wide. I wish those Odegaard that chance. Yeah, you probably would have scored that one. Musa says, Kai Havertz looks uninspiring anytime he has the ball. He needs to improve quickly. You can definitely tell he's very short on confidence. I miss Trossard and Martinelli. I'm heartbroken as well, Kizet. I'm very, very heartbroken. Like, we needed at least one of them today. Rhea played well, gave him 8 out of 10. In terms of kicking, it wasn't the best. There's a couple of times he kicked it like out of the pitch. With these errors, I'm honestly, my honest opinion is that we might struggle to get top 4. We are going to get top 4. I mean, there's Arsenal, but you could be as bad as the likes of Chelsea and Man United. So you're not in that position as bad as Man United and Chelsea. But there's definitely teams that are playing really well, Brighton and Liverpool. So there's that too. We are lucky we didn't lose, says Lenny. We have dropped 4 points due to stupid mistakes, says Kizeto. Zinchenko against Fulham. There was also Saka against Fulham as well, and Jorginho today. Way too many mistakes. Today, the players were not at their best. I think we suffered because mentally we were off. Even Odegaard was off today. Yeah, especially in the second half, as I said, if Saka and Odegaard are off at the same time, you're not going to score a goal. And especially if you don't have Martinelli and Trossard as well. We can't defend Tottenham squad because of our mistakes, says Stefoko. And the thing is, it's only at home. Away from home, I can guarantee you, just watch next week against Bournemouth. We are going to go there, and Bournemouth are not going to have a shot. You're going to win there 3-0. But then after that, when you play a home game, we just concede every single time. I don't understand why. We need 4 to 5 players in January, says Lee. Very disappointed. If Rice is not injured, he is injured. explain why he's substituted. He is injured. Our standard of playing will never suit to play in the Champions League. I can remember Bayern beating us 8-2. Says Frederick. Gabriel Jesus wasted a big chance. Jorginho too poor. Nketiah brainless. Kizito is not having the Nketiah's performance. Odegaard very poor. If it's actually a hamstring, we're in a lot of trouble, because I'm also hearing Trossard could be a hamstring. Olaide says Havertz, Jorginho on, Rice, Vieira off. That's where I got it wrong. They had injuries though, Olaide. That's what I'm saying. If they had injuries, Jorginho coming on, we can't do anything about that. He has to come on if Rice is injured. There's nothing we can do about that one. The Havertz one and then Nketiah are not coming off, and the Jesus one, all that, maybe you can do something about that. But the one for Jorginho and Rice, you have to bring on Jorginho if you don't have Rice and Partey. Arteta was wrong to remove Nketiah then leave Jesus. I mean, I guess you mean remove Jesus and leave Nketiah. Only Saka rose up to the occasion, but the remaining players off the game, says Anu. Poor performance today, says Lovato. Raya made a brilliant save. Yes, I agree. That's Cookie. I think we give Ramsdale a chance versus Brentford and go from there. Like goalkeeping, though, goalkeeping is not my worry right now. Even defensively are conceding goals, but the mistakes are my worry and the injuries. Why not play Zinchenko in midfield, then Tomiyasu on left back? I mean, that is an option. It plays there for Ukraine. Nketiah is very poor. Why not start Nelson on the left wing? At his experience is killing our team. Experiment to guess him in. Why are our players always injured during training? Atta must take the blame, says Douglas. Effort says that's why I said Arsenal must sign a striker. Bedell says why should all these Arsenal players get injured during training? I have no idea, man. They never get injured during the game, and especially Partey. Partey's picked up like 7 injuries at Arsenal, and like one of them has been in a game. I blame Atta for not removing Nketiah, says Daniel. One thing I don't understand is about Atta is when it comes to Sabi, still behind Nketiah. Played him for 90 minutes, says Jackson. Arsenal today is not Arsenal. I know they didn't play well, says Samuel. I agree with that. Charles says, how do you bring Jorginho? We have to bring on Jorginho because Rice was injured. So let's ignore that point. Jorginho has to come on because Rice is injured. The others, yes, Rice, the others from Nketiah, Jesus, all that is fine. But for Jorginho, he has to come on. If Rice is injured, there's no one else unless you bring on El Neni. Why not using El Neni during instead of Jorginho? Now, the thing is with Ndaba, if you bring on El Neni in that game and he makes a mistake, fans will not let Arteta settle at all. They'll start saying, why did Jorginho not come on instead of El Neni? I don't think fans will tell you, why didn't we bring on El Neni? El Neni just also became fit. That's another thing. We don't know how fit he is. Ignatius says Nketiah was rubbish, doing nothing for 90 minutes. Rice was injured. Fortune, Rice was injured. Let's see. How many did I miss? Atta needs to trust Smith Rowe more instead of Harvard, says Mukesa. Nwaneri should be used today. We might see him on Wednesday. Let's see. Spurs, Liverpool, and Arsenal look similar in quality to us at the moment, to be fair. City, but I mean, I'm not worried about Arsenal not finishing the top 4, starting to lose games. Now, you might remember we've still not lost a game. Mistake-wise is terrible, obviously, and getting injuries is terrible. But I still think at the moment it's only Man City and Liverpool that I'm worried about. The others I'm not really worried about. Brighton is playing well, obviously, but I would still expect us to beat Brentford and Bournemouth next. But the problem becomes after that it's Man City, and I'm not sure you're ready to beat Man City. Princess says, and the mistake Atta making is removing Jesus and leaving Nketiah. That I definitely agree with. I would have subbed off Nketiah a long time ago. Not even, when did Jesus come off? 76th minute. Like, I would have taken off Nketiah like in this 45th minute halftime. I don't think he was effective enough. So much of our team is injured, and we are effectively playing 2 games a week every week. We didn't sign enough depth, and we are finished. We'd have even kept Lokonga. And now, Cookie, I watched Lokonga yesterday. He was making so many mistakes. He doesn't look comfortable in the ball and all that. So that we should definitely have signed another midfielder, though. That one I agree. They should definitely have signed another midfielder. Now, the thing is, Rice is injured, Trossard is injured, Martinelli is injured, Partey is injured, Timber is injured. That is a problem. We have 2 games coming up and Vieira's tackled a lot and you're subbed off. So I'm thinking, is that another injury as well? Saka is looking tired. So all of a sudden, Nelson has to play. Smith Rowe has to play. Jorginho has to play. Or El Neni has to play. We can't play Zinchenko every single day because, another player can get injured anytime. So Tomiyasu will probably start against Brentford. You're even going to maybe even see Cedric, Kivior. Havertz is going to start in midweek. So I'm hoping those players will start that midweek game. I need confidence to go up, because if midweek again someone like a Jorginho makes a mistake or Havertz misses a clear-cut chance, then we are in big trouble because most of our other players are injured. So I want to see the likes of Smith Rowe and Nelson against Brentford, and then hopefully just rest Saka, please, because these injuries, if Saka gets an injury, let's not even say if Saka is not in that team, we are totally finished. Especially if Martinelli and Trossard are not there as well, we are totally finished. So 2-2 draw against Tottenham. I think we are now 5th on the table. Man City are 4 points ahead of us. I think Liverpool are like 3 points ahead of us. We are still on the same points as I think as Brighton and Tottenham, if I'm not wrong. So next week, another big week. We have to beat Brentford in the Carabao Cup, and we have to bounce back against Bournemouth next week. I mean, if we win Bournemouth next week and Liverpool are playing Tottenham next week, so that is good. They're going to take points from each other. So from next week, let's hope we are back to as we know we can do, like the way we did against PSV. But with the injuries, I'm really hoping for good news. Partey hopefully is back soon. Trice hopefully it's not a serious injury. But 2-2 draw against Tottenham. Keep letting me know who your man of the match was and what you think of the performance. Thank you for watching, and catch up with you guys on the next one.